Dr. Heidi Grant here with another episode of 3 Things to Do. Before we get started, you know what you need to do. Hit that like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Today's topic is one that I'm really passionate about. It's how to adopt a growth mindset. Growth mindset is actually something I've been studying, as many of you may know, for my entire career as a scientist. It was actually the subject of my dissertation, working with Carol Dweck, who's a very well-known name in research on growth mindset. While a lot of Carol's work has focused on how growth mindset affects children in the classroom, I myself have been more interested in how it affects us as adults, because it turns out the mindset that you approach every aspect of your life with, your professional life, your personal life, has a really profound impact on just about every aspect of your effectiveness and your well-being. Let's start with the idea that growth mindset is actually much more than just the belief that improvement is possible. Growth mindset is actually seeing growth as the purpose of everything you do. It's developing yourself as a goal. And it's also beyond just a belief, it's behaviors that really put growth mindset into action. So today I want to share with you 3 things to do to adopt a growth mindset, behaviors you can engage in that are going to help you strengthen this growth mindset muscle so you can be bringing growth mindset to more aspects of your own life. The first is what I like to call notice, then shift. The first key is actually beginning to recognize that you're not in a growth mindset, right? That you're in more of a fixed mindset. You'll know this is true if you find yourself doing things like feeling really anxious or very dejected when things go wrong. Or if you find yourself engaging in a lot of self-doubt, if you're saying things to yourself like, I'm just not good at this, I wish I didn't have to learn this, this is too hard for me, I'm just not the kind of person that's good at this thing. That kind of self-talk and those kinds of really strong negative emotions are a good signal that you're approaching whatever you're doing with a fixed mindset. So when you notice that's the case, you need to shift deliberately to a growth mindset. Carol very famously likes to add the word yet to the end of a sentence, right? So if she catches herself thinking, I'm just not good at this, she says, I'm just not good at this yet. My own version of this is to say to myself, Heidi, it's not about being good, it's about getting better. And that's a little mantra that I use to, when I notice I'm in a fixed mindset, to shift my thinking toward growth. So think about what that little mantra might be for you when you notice you're in a fixed mindset to help shift yourself to a growth mindset. The second strategy that you can use to help adopt a growth mindset in everything you do is to focus on progress. Too often we're focused just on what's happening here and now. What I like to call snapshot thinking, like you're just taking a picture of a moment in time. But having a growth mindset means you're always aware of the fact that everything you do is about progress over time. You want to think about where you were, where you are now, and where you want to be. Something I like to call the rule of 3, right? So instead of just thinking about where you are with respect to your goals in your career, with your respect to your goals in your health or in your relationships, think about where you were 6 months ago, a year ago. Think about where you are now, and think about where you want to be 6 months or a year from now. And that focus on progress over time will help you maintain your motivation and your focus on growth. And the last strategy you can use to adopt a growth mindset is to revisit your successes. One of the most important things in maintaining your growth mindset is maintaining that confidence that you can overcome new challenges. And one of the richest sources of confidence for each of us is to remember that very often we've been through challenges like this before, and we can lose sight of that, right? So when you're feeling a little nervous, you're in that fixed mindset, you're thinking, you're having all those thoughts that are about self-doubt, wondering if you can be successful, wondering if you can grow and achieve, just pause and reflect on a time when you actually encountered a similar challenge, when you had to learn something that was new and scary, when you got negative feedback in the past, when everything didn't come too easily, and yet you persisted and you were able to be successful in the end. When we can remind ourselves of those things, we're much more likely to be able to maintain our growth mindset going forward. So let me review those 3 things to do to adopt a growth mindset one more time. Notice, then shift. When you notice that you're in a fixed mindset, remind yourself that's not the mindset you want to be in, and use that mantra to shift yourself toward growth. Secondly, focus on progress. Don't just engage in snapshot thinking. Remember to think about where you were, where you are now, and where you want to be in the future. And finally, revisit your successes. Use them to keep you confident and motivated that there's no challenge that you can't overcome. So thanks again for tuning into 3 Things to Do. If you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and feel free to share this video with someone who you think could use a little bit more help maintaining their growth mindset as we go into this new year. Thanks so much, and we'll see you again next week.